Hey yo, what's up? Yo, we're
All
live.
right,
Let's go.
that's good. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Start to Spin. My name is Diego, also known as DJ Pretty Boy. I got my boy Shay alongside, and we have decided to open this podcast to talk about DJ related content. And hopefully, you guys learn something from us, and we learn something for you guys. If you guys would like to leave it on comments and things like that. If you're a DJ, you like this content, and you're willing to jump in and talk to us, we'll be more than happy to have you in here to learn from each other. So let's just have
Sure.
fun and let's get this started. All right. So let's go.
All right, man.
All right. All
First
right. So
episode. Let's go.
excited.
This is
Let,
exciting.
go ahead and make this happen. So the first question I got for you is, how do you prepare, or how did you prepare for your first event?
Yeah, man. I mean for me, like I didn't start too long ago. It's only been like a couple of years that I've been doing it professionally. So this is still pretty fresh to me, remembering what it's like to prepare for my first event. But
Hmm.
for me, it's the main thing, and even right now is like knowing your audience and getting to know your client, and what they need, because honestly, that's what's going to determine everything. It's going to determine the type of music that you bring. It's going to determine the equipment, the setup that you need, and then it's also going to, that relationship that you build with them ahead of time. That's just going to help you once you get there. They're going to already like you before you enter the venue and start the event. So for me, it's like, getting to know your client, getting to know what their friends or family are like that you're going to be playing for. Because when you're starting out, you're not going to have a huge library. You're not going to have like different sets for different environments and different crowds. So talking to them, you'll get an idea of what kind of music that they want. I always tell all my clients to send me a playlist ahead of time, and then I prepare that playlist. Make sure that I have, first of all, make sure I have all the music, and second of all, I kind of queue everything up, and then have an idea of how I could go in and out of those different songs, and that's all by like by talking to them ahead of time and knowing that. So that's why I say that the biggest thing I would say for me, like, well, there's a lot of things, but one of the biggest things for preparing for an event is getting to know your client and making sure you have a good working relationship before you enter the venue.
Yeah. That's good. So I also believe that having a good communication with the client, that's very important. Also, I've been doing this professionally for, I want to say, like 5 years already,
Nice.
and so yeah, that was one of the biggest thing, was getting comfortable talking to the client. The first time,
Yeah.
I remember that the first time I actually DJ, I was so scared
Yeah.
because I didn't have nothing. And like you mentioned, the music, the preparation is very important. Speaking to the client, knowing what they want, getting a playlist from them. I seen or heard that a lot of DJs don't ask for a playlist, and I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
Like, you're catering to them, so you should
Exactly.
be
Yeah.
requesting this type of stuff. It's not
I
like
think
you're
it,
gonna go unless you're like a big DJ, like, you're
right.
just gonna go and play whatever you want. You're not at a club,
Yeah.
so
For like when you're doing your first gigs, especially. And I think the other thing is, so sometimes a lot of people, another situation is like, if your first gig is through another DJ company, right? Like your first gig might not be, you booked it on your own, or they found it you on your own, and you're getting it from the DJ company. You might not be able to contact the couple directly in some of those cases, where it's like you getting all your information through the more senior DJ that booked you for the event. So in that case, I feel like that's when, like, making sure that you asking and kind of advocating for yourself and getting a playlist. Be like, oh, can you ask them to send some kind of a playlist? So even if you can't actually talk to them and get an idea, by getting that playlist in advance from them, you can still be as prepared as possible. You're not walking in blind, especially for like a first event kind of situation.
yeah. So preparation is it's key in this case, and like you said, when Well, I never had actually work on like a I never subcontracted. All
Mm,
my events are like direct. So that's very interesting. In
yeah.
that case, how do you go about getting that information? What if the DJ doesn't want to give you that like that information, or like the contact, or
Yeah,
the
it's a no,
person
I
contact, whatever.
usually when I do both. So, when I started I was doing mainly like subcontract gigs, and then it was funny actually. One of my first professional events, like the guy was like he was like super seasoned like DJ, and like he's probably like, what you're talking about, like doesn't even like ask for a playlist. He's just like he like knows, because I think people take it for granted sometimes, like you could just show up and just play based on the crowd right then and there. But I feel like
Yeah,
when you're starting out, it's like you might not have all the music. So it's like what I did, I was like asking him like, hey, can you send me a playlist like this, that, like a week before, and he wasn't like responding to me, and I was like, dang, like, I don't want to seem like I don't know what I'm doing. So then I messaged him again, like, hey, can you please send me a playlist? Like, can you ask the client? And he didn't like send it to me. So then like I had a contract, and I saw like the client's name on it, and I was like, yo, I just got to find as much information as I can. And I was like Googling them and like trying to figure out like how old they are, and like if like get any information I can, to
yeah.
like to help me to help me like, at least narrow things down a little bit. And I kind of had to just use whatever was available to me. But I feel like that's not the case in most cases. If you ask them, they'll ask the client, and I feel like it's part of the normal workflow for most DJ companies, is like, getting a playlist. But it's definitely tough, and then you kind of got to use like these other, as whatever information you have to like figure it out, and get whatever you can to help narrow things down before you show up.
Yeah, as a subcontractor, have you run into the issue when you ask for the client's information, like the phone number, but the DJ doesn't want to give it to you?
Yeah,
Because
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like they usually don't share that with you, because it's like part of it is they do all of that work, which is like talking to them and booking them, and when you're subcontracting, it's almost kind of nice that, like you were saying, like when you're first starting out, you have to learn how to talk to people, how to like, do the customer service part. That when you're just a subcontractor, that whole part is taken out of the equation. You're just doing the DJing, and you talk to the DJ, you get the information from him. So yeah, like I in those cases, like I don't talk to the client until the day I show up, and then it's like I just have to use the playlist that I have, that I can get from the other DJ. I'm dependent on him.
yeah, but if you're not talking to the client, don't you feel like, at least for me, there needs to be a connection
Yeah, for
between me
sure.
and the client? You know what I'm saying? So when
Yeah,
every time someone is inquiring about my services, I always tell them like, I'll be happy to tell you my prices and all that, but first let's have a Zoom meeting or whatever, any type of video chat,
yeah,
and let me get to know you guys, and then you guys get to know me, and then we'll decide if I am the right person for
yeah,
you. It I don't know how in a subcontract, because then you're just showing up,
yeah.
and you're like,
And you can,
okay,
I feel like you get a way better experience for that reason. Like, when people book me, I also take bookings directly too. So it's like, if people book me directly, I get to know them way more. I play the music that they want to hear. Like I can do a much better job, DJing, versus like subcontractors. Like, it's also like people that don't care as much about who their DJ is, and they just want like somebody there. You're just like somebody that can play music. But the events, when someone books you because they've talked to you, they like you as a person, they like your style, it's a whole nother level. And those are always the best events too, because like, you know what they want, and they're also picking you because they know that, okay, this DJ fits like what we're looking for, and what our party's looking for too. So it's definitely what I prefer, like booking them on my own for sure. But I do both, just so I can on the days that I'm not working, if I'm not getting a booking on my own, at least I have something. So that's why I do both. And but hopefully the goal is that I can get enough gigs that I can just do my own like all the time, one someday in the future.
okay, okay, yeah. I don't know. To me, just I don't know. I have to meet. I have to meet them. I have to be able to speak to them, see them, and feel the vibe.
Yeah,
Because if I don't, then I don't know. I feel like see when I go to an event, I'm already like my mindset is to like okay, I'm gonna do this, 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 and this.
yeah.
Uh,
You already have an idea like
in
how.
my like on my in Serato, my DJ software, I see like there's people that have like sets prepared.
Yeah,
I don't prepare. Like
yeah. Same
I don't
here.
prepare in that case. No, when I go there, I go by feeling. I do have my libraries, my folders easy to find like songs because things me come like things come to my head while I'm DJing. I'm like okay, like I'm playing this
Yeah,
song and then I'm already thinking about like 2 or 3 songs ahead.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
this song, I know that this song goes with this one, but with this one and goes with this one. And then once I get to that one, I'm like, oh, and it just clicks in my head. Okay, this song has this part, then I can like wordplay, use this part of the song, and throw this song
Oh,
on.
you do
Like,
that
you know,
live,
like
dude. That's pretty.
I
That's
do that.
good.
I do that live.
I
And
can't.
I
I can't.
mean,
I'm not that creative. I don't come up with word plays on the spot. I'll be like, I have few ones. Like I'm like, all right, I've worked on these, and I'm like, all right, I just need
yeah.
to find a spot to like play them now in the night. That's good.
So
You do it live.
and that's what I said up a lot about on my DJ on my channel, that when you do house parties, that
Yeah,
is the
you can
best practice.
experiment.
You get live, people, you get live reactions to the things that you're doing. So
Yeah,
that's why I like to take this I like to take house parties because that's when I get creative. I
yeah,
start throwing different things and I see if it works, if it doesn't work. At the end of the day, it's a house party. It's not that big of an event.
yeah.
And
And
if you
usually
mess
at
up
the end of the
at this
night
point, you're drunk.
they get like drunk. Yeah, at the end of the night they
They don't
get
care.
drunk,
Yeah.
and they all. And the thing is, the vibes are different too because everyone knows each other. Everyone's pretty close usually there. At
Yes.
the bigger events, weddings, like yeah, people are close. A lot of times it's the younger crowd, but it's not like you don't have all the guests aren't always on the same page. So at these house parties, it's like they're just down there to they're just down to have a good time to get lit together. They've usually known each other for a long time, and then they're all just like drunk and dancing to whatever you play.
Yeah, exactly. So that's yeah. So that's like the main thing for me.
One
And
thing I'll say
apparently,
then, because you were talking about the crates, how do you like? Do you have a way that you organize your crates, like a formula or like a way that you divide up your music?
no. So I actually have all of my songs. I have it in one folder. It's called Latino BPM. That's what I call it, BPM Latino.
Okay.
And I have it all of that, but I have every song in like with the right, like I can have it by key, I have it by BPM, and
Yeah.
I have every song on the genre of the music. So I mean,
Yeah.
I play my music so much that I already know how to get to it fast. And if I don't know the song, I know the artist. I know all the like the top artists for
Yeah.
like the Hispanic community. So and that's what I mainly play.
Yeah.
The only thing is for English, the English community, or like hip hop, pop, all that. I do have folders. So
Mm.
like I have folder for like hip hop, and
Yeah.
then
The right
folder for the
genre.
2000s genres. Yeah, I have separated by genres. But
Yeah.
for my music, like Spanish music, I don't. I have it all in one.
All,
But I literally, if I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a like 10-15 minute set of merengue. So I just like type merengue and all my merengues come up. And then
oh,
from there, I already know where to go. Because
yeah,
I
yeah,
do have it color coded though. I color code like the hits. I have them in red.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then I have like the mild kind of songs in like type of like a yellow something. And
yeah,
the ones
yeah,
that people don't know that I use as fillers. Or like when like right at the beginning of the event, I'm trying to like just burn some music
yeah, yeah.
because you don't want to throw your
Use
bangers
all your
right
bangers.
at the
Yeah,
beginning, right? So but that also depends on the event that you are and the vibe. There's people that you're gonna need to like start with a banger to get everyone in the dance floor,
yeah.
and from there like you start switching and whatever. But there's times that you'll see that the people are just lit,
Yeah.
they're fun.
Like
So
anything.
you can get away with starting with something like not known, but the beat, because you dance to the
Yeah.
beat, not to
Oh
the
yeah.
lyrics.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's how I have it.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have by genres or eras or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel very comfortable the way I have it. So how do you
Yeah.
have it? How do you have
I
yours?
do genres too. You know, like it's just by like hip hop, like pop. Then I have like I do a lot of Indian events mainly, so it's like Bollywood music, and then I for my like Spanish music, it's just reggaeton, like one thing, you know.
Uh-huh.
But it's I have each like genre, and then now I've started to do like some sub genres because I started getting like too much. My music library started getting bigger, and it was like stuff. It was like too many things in one folder for like each genre. So then like now hip hop, I'll do like old school hip hop. It's like 80s, like like Biggie, like kind of and all that like 80s stuff, 90s, early 90s, and then I'll do like 2000s hip hop, and then I have like 2010s hip hop, and then like I'm starting to create like a new like 2020 hip hop, which is like all this new like mumble rap and all those types of stuff that people are listening to now in high school. So I started doing that, but it's still mainly just like by genres, and I found that that's the best. I've seen other people do like they have like a like playlist, like stuff that they've used, like sets that they've used at like a club or something like that, and then they like create a crate off of that and go like that. But I
Yeah.
usually just do genre, and then I switch between genres too, like all the time. So I'm like reggaeton to hip hop to Bollywood to like old school hip hop, and then pop like I play just for the people, but I don't like enjoy playing pop music that much. But it's like that makes people dance, so then I'll jump in. I'll jump between crates, but I don't have like a crate where it's like I have different genres of music all in there. I've seen other people do it that way too. I think it's
Yeah.
interesting, but this way it's like you can mix things around more. It's like when you get your set playlist, it's like I think it would work well, but it would you might not you might get into a routine of just using like the same kind of playlist in the same order if it's like you kind of creating crates just like based on an event. But I haven't
Yeah.
tried it, so I don't know.
I feel like I will get lazy. And
Yeah.
if I'm in a subfolder, I'm just gonna start playing and playing and playing all songs from there.
Yeah.
But the way I do it is plus I don't stay in a same genre for too long. And I
Yeah.
like sometimes I even like to quick mix. So I have my cue points are set up. So I have like one in the beginning, one at the chorus of the song, and one I have one on the on the entrance of the second verse of the song, and then I have one at the end.
Oh,
So
entrance. Yeah. So
the,
you mix out of like the one on the entrance to the second verse or something if you need to.
yeah, so I like to I like to play around. I know that there's songs like what's there's songs in hip hop too. Like TikTok made them famous, right? So it's
Yeah.
only a 10 to 20-second song that you like. That's the only part that you like that everybody knows is those 20 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
After
yeah.
that, everybody's just like
Yeah. They don't
okay.
know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's another thing that you as a DJ will have to understand. Not every song needs to be played the whole time. The
Oh
whole
yeah.
3 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
I actually do have a playlist that is just like TikTok hits,
Oh, that's
but have
good. That's a good
like
idea.
short versions. So I have short versions. So when I have to do like kids parties, so usually I do I do
Sweet 16. Yeah.
quinceañeras.
Quinceanera. Yeah.
Yeah, I've only done like one or two Sweet 16s. So mainly more quinceañeras, and I've been lucky enough that every single one of them are like, no, just we want Hispanic music.
No.
I love hip hop, but the old one, Biggie, Pac,
Yeah.
DMX,
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
that I
Those
like. But
90s
the
and
music now, it's
it's
not my
hard,
flow.
dude. Yeah,
So
the new stuff. That's the thing. Like, you really have to try. Like you're saying, it's hard because it's only certain parts of the song. So it's like those are the ones like you really have to prepare too. It's like if you play that, if for those ones, it's like if I'm gonna play one of those new like TikTok songs or like a new hip hop song, and it's like there's only a certain part of it's recognizable. It's like I have to know when I get into that song, like I have to know where I'm going out. Like, if you just play it and then you don't know, like it's all of a sudden the song is gonna like die down and it's gonna go into some other part, and everyone's gonna be like looking around. They're not gonna know what's going on. So it's like that's when it's like getting a playlist ahead of time. Like let's say you're doing like a quinceañera and these kids are like requesting, you know, because there's always new stuff. It's like, yeah, we DJ, but like there's always new songs. It's like if you don't have a playlist in advance and they're like requested, they want to hear all this like new hip hop that you aren't familiar with. It's like unless you've done the work ahead of time and listened to them and like, oh yeah, I remember this one off TikTok. Like, I didn't remember that this was the name of the song. But like unless you do that beforehand, it's like you try to do it on the spot, is like you're gonna lose the crowd. You're gonna be like, all right, this guy doesn't obviously never heard this song before because he's playing like the part of the song that nobody like lasts until. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like for example, God's Plan.
Yeah.
So that song, that's good. It's a good song, but that really, the part that really hits is when he starts saying like something partly like
Yeah.
I
She said, "Do
only love
you
my
love me? Don't love
yeah yeah yeah.
anybody." Yeah.
So
You gotta play
that
that
part
part.
is the only part that like really hits hard.
Yeah.
After that, it's just like
Yeah. Like
maybe like
or
couple
good.
seconds more.
Or what you'll do, or what someone that doesn't know, you'll start it ahead of time, and then before that part comes, you might have transitioned out of the song. You know, if you don't know, and you'll be like,
Yeah,
everyone will be like, what the hell?" You know, but it's like if you don't know that, because that I think that when that song that comes like in the middle of the song too. So it's like if you're quick mixing or something and you mix out of it before that part, then you
yeah.
might even miss. There's like there's like those little nuances that's like unless you've like prepared and like listened to it ahead of time, and if you've never heard the
And
song.
that's exactly what falls under like the preparation. If you get the playlist ahead, and then
Yeah.
you get to analyze the songs in your head. If you don't know some songs, listen to them and get used to it. Like I was telling you before we went live. Remember I told you about the Middle Eastern music or like the Bollywood music that I play
Yeah,
for,
yeah. The
that I
Bollywood,
DJ.
not Middle Eastern.
I I've never listened to
Yeah,
that type of music, and I literally spent like good month just listening to that type of music to get my ear
yeah.
accustomed to that. And I don't know if in one of the videos, I don't know if you can see that I mix a one of the Bollywood and into reggaeton, and
Oh, nice.
it
Yeah,
sounded pretty nice.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but that came with me putting the time to learn.
yeah,
Because I told the client up front, I don't know if any other DJ does this, but I do. I told him, look, I've never played this, but I'm willing to learn. And it was
right.
in a wedding, it's in a
Yeah, at
wedding,
a wedding.
but they trusted me.
Yeah,
So, and then I did ask for the playlist like 2 months ahead, and they sent me a huge playlist, and I was like, okay. So I literally the whole month I would just listen. Like, I had to go to my job, listen to it,
that's
come back,
awesome.
listen to it, like, and it was just like, almost every genre is the same except for like salsa, because salsa it's really hard to mix.
Yeah, yeah, you can't
It's
mix.
really hard to mix. The BPM of salsa, it's not as steady. It goes up and down real quick.
Yeah,
Because majority of it is like recorded live.
yeah.
So
So it's not like it's not a stable
yes,
tempo either. It's like changing all the
it's
time.
it's not like you're mixing like reggaeton or electro music, because
Yeah,
everything is steady and all computerized. This is like you literally hearing people going with the guitar and the piano and all those instruments. So salsa is it's a really hard one to mix,
a
but
mix. Yeah,
yeah, but with practice you can get it. It's just practice
yeah.
overall.
That's the
Now,
thing. Like
but
I think people, when you do an event on your own, like this going back to what we're talking about at the beginning, like you're like DJs when you're working with like a big company and it's like you don't get to talk to the DJ who's doing your event. You can't do things like what you did, and it's like learning a brand new genre of music,
of
for
course, yeah,
for an event because if you don't know the genre, likely is you're not going to get assigned to that wedding in the first place. Like if it's a big company, and but like that's the way that you can grow too. Like that's how I learn. I like to take these events. Like I don't have a genre like that. Like I've never done like a full like Latino like wedding or quinceañera or anything like that. But it's like for me the equivalent is like when you're taking these like eighth grade graduation parties or like like sweet 16s where it's like you know that the music is probably not what you're familiar with, but
yeah.
you still put yourself in those situations so that, okay, I'm going to learn, you get the opportunity to learn new music that way. And then, those kids are going to get older. They're going to go in and get married in 10 years, 15 years, whatever. So eventually they'll become your wedding clients in the future too.
Yeah, I mean that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
They can become your wedding clients later
Play the
on.
long game, but and then it's like, you're learning new music. So it's like, even if you're not comfortable with the music, it's like, as long as you're willing to put the time in, it's like, at the end of the day, it's like music is, it's pretty universal, like other, like
Yeah.
salsa and stuff, it's like, but like, there's BPM, there's key, if you pay attention to that. And it's like, as long as you like take the time to listen to the music and learn it, it's like, you can figure out how to mix it. It's not like it's some rocket science, if learning a different genre or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, music structure is all the same.
Yeah.
So it's all the same. And now we are lucky enough to have everything computerized.
Oh yeah.
So it's way much easier than before. So that's good. Now when it comes to like your preparation, what about what do you do like a day before or on the day of the event when you're going to like a wedding, let's say?
Yeah, I mean, I think like most of my preparation, if I'm preparing the day of, like, that's only because the client like sent something to me last minute or something like that. Like I'm making sure, like, I do it weeks in advance, but like, it's like, for me, the way I usually think of it is that I'm preparing, or I'm talking to the client and this and that, doing things as it comes up. But then the week of the event, because usually like, on the weekend, so the week of is just like, I'm just making sure I've got everything, all the ducks in a row, and making sure I got all the music and all that kind of stuff. And then obviously, like, if it's learning some new genre, then I'm doing that weeks and months in advance. But I would say on the day of, it's usually like just making sure all my equipment's ready, that I've got everything. Like, I try to put everything out and like in the middle of my room, so that nothing's like hiding in a corner or anything like that. So I don't forget to take something with me. And just making sure that everything's there, everything that I have is ready to go. And then making sure my body's right, because as you get a little bit older, I'm like, I make sure I stretch, or try to do like a light workout on the day of an event too, because it's like, you'll get super sore if you if you don't do that either. So
so how much time do you put on the back end?
Oh, bro,
like preparation wise?
Dude, it depends. Like, sometimes it's crazy, but like, I did an event. Well, it was crazy because I did a wedding that was like a 2-day wedding this year. So it was like a pre-wedding event, and then like, wedding reception, wedding ceremony, reception. But I keep track of like the hours that I put into events total, because I want to know, like, like how much time, because it's like, okay, like, you charge $1,000 or something for a 5-hour gig. It's like, people might think, oh, you're getting paid, like, it's so good, $200 an hour. But it's like, you don't see all the time that goes into in the back end. So, bro, this wedding that I did, it was like a 2-day wedding. Like, maybe I was actually there on site for like a total of I don't know, like 16 hours or something, on site. But the total like hours that I put in for it, and this is like legit me logging it, was 80 hours, like straight up, like 80 hours learning for the music. I had to make like mixes for them. They were going like back and forth with like, changing things, and like, oh, can you make us a mix for this? Can you make us a mix for that? And I just do all that, like, unlimited consultation. And I'm thinking about, how, because I was like, dude, this is a lot of work. But between the traveling, the site, like doing a site visit beforehand, I count all that in there, and it came out to 80 hours total for a wedding. So I'm like, bro, this is crazy. Like, literally 2 weeks full time. And that's a bit of an extreme example. But like,
well, on a regular wedding then.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's still up there though. Like, so weddings, it'll still be like, let's say just a 1-day wedding. Like, I'm still usually logging at least like 20 hours, like total
in total,
total, like, of doing the whole event. Like, if it's a 6-hour event, maybe like a commute, etc. You're up to like, it's my at an average, like, it's double the time that you're spending outside, preparing. And like, I think I over prepare for sure. Like, that's not sustainable sometimes, but I don't know. That's usually how I do. I take it like really seriously, you know, when I'm preparing.
I
So
mean, yeah, it's a wedding. You don't want to, you don't want to mess anything up. You don't know
yeah.
what's gonna happen. So yeah, like I don't think there's such a thing as over preparing.
Oh no,
That's
that's the
good.
thing.
You're
Yeah, if
preparing,
you got the
and that's
time. That's the
good.
thing. I had the time, so I'm like, shit, I'm gonna prepare.
Yeah.
But it also is like, okay, that the crazy example, that one that I had was also like the client. It wasn't like a different genre, but the genre was just like really like 70s and 80s, like, you know, American like rock music and stuff that I'm like not, you know, I'm not familiar with that either. But
Yeah.
they wanted that stuff too, along with Indian stuff. So I was like, all right, how can I like mix this like two different genres? So
Yeah.
I was spending a lot of time doing the prep work for that. But I mean, on average, it's like even if it's like something you're well prepared with, I mean, like whatever time you're spending on site, I usually find myself doing double that. You know, so if it's like 6 hour wedding, it's like 12 hours of like at least 12 hours prep time and like, you know, commute, you know, and all, like everything else behind the scenes before you actually get there.
Oh yeah. So for me is if it's a wedding that I'm comfortable with, like pretty
Yeah,
solid on it,
like yeah, like Hispanic or like
it could be like like a 15-hour thing.
yeah,
You know, six because usually a wedding here, a typical wedding is a 6-hour event,
yeah,
and you know
6 hours
you add your usually is like an hour, hour and a half to like hour and a half
commute.
to and from commute.
And also you
So
get there early too. So it's like, you know, you're getting there at least like weddings like 3 hours early. Sometimes, you know, at least sometimes I'm no way I'm getting there less than 2 hours early for a wedding. You know, like it's like
yeah,
2 to 3
so
hours.
exactly the same here. Well, recently,
Yeah.
be, before
Oh, you
I
had a
was like,
gig. Oh, you had a gig log where you were there like you were there like half an hour early or something. I remember.
oh no, the thing is, I I went to my storage unit and I left my
Hey.
keys. Like I left my keys home, so I couldn't get into the storage unit. And then when I came, it was raining. I
Oh
came
my
back
god.
and there was traffic, so it took me half an hour. A 12-minute drive. It took me half an hour to get home.
Yeah.
Grab the keys, go back over there, and then I had to drive an hour and a half.
Dang.
And
Yeah.
you know when it's raining, like everybody just drives stupid slow.
Yeah.
So and I mean understandable,
And
but
it'll slow you
man,
down in the load in, load out too. You'd be like, you know, worried about your gear and like
well,
trying to
yeah.
like
The
do
thing
things.
was that the load-in, the venue was a this restaurant, and the venue the place was in the second floor. So and there was
Oh,
an elevator, but the elevator was stupid slow too.
yeah.
So we literally had like 30 minutes, 30 I want to say like 30 minutes to 40 minutes to like set up everything because we got there around
Oh,
5:20 ish. We were supposed to be there at 4 because cocktail hour started at 6. So
okay.
2 hours it was fine. But we got there at like 5:20. Well, we put everything up there. I was like, yo, Pee Wee, grab the speakers, set them up real quick, and run the cables. I'm gonna do the rest. So
Yeah.
he got the speakers. We started like doing that everything real quick. What saved us, honestly, was that we had cocktail hour, and
Yeah.
cocktail hour the bar was outside the
Oh,
venue,
yeah, so you could do
literally. Yeah. So
yeah,
we
otherwise
decided to put the speaker outside the doors
oh, that's crazy,
for
bro.
cocktail hour while we were finished because everything was almost done. The only thing that we haven't done was put the lights, the up lights around
Yeah, yeah.
and raise up the towers. That was it. But
Oh, okay.
it was already halfway, like almost done.
Yeah.
But after that, I was like, no, bro, like we need to leave it earlier, especially if it's raining. Leave earlier, and I need to make sure I have my keys.
Yeah. No,
So
dude. And also it helps because you got you if you didn't have a second person, then you would've been like there's no way you could set up like everything in time.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, and I don't. I used to go by myself to like when I first started,
Yeah.
but then I was like, nah, like I need somebody to come with me in all the time, especially when we do like house parties, because you never know, people get
Yeah.
drunk and
Yeah,
some
that's
stupid.
it's best to have an assistant like that because it's like you don't know it's late night too. like people get mad when you don't play their songs or whatever, and like they'll get aggressive when they're drunk. So like, you got strength in numbers, when you've
Yeah,
got somebody with
like
you.
wasn't that Aaron?
Yeah, like you saw, dude, that was bad. I mean,
I
that
saw that
wasn't
video.
when I watched that. It wasn't like it didn't sound like they got aggressive, but it was like they became like like they became angry and then took it out on Google reviews later. It's like
Like, yeah,
some
that's
people
crazy.
will do. Some people will take Google reviews. Some people will just like start yelling at you and like try to fight you at the event, or like throw alcohol at you.
Yeah, that's crazy. That I'm telling you, that's crazy. Well, do you have well, when you first started, did you have backups? Like, do you had
Oh,
a
backup.
backup plan just in case like
Yeah,
something
that's
broke?
interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think like when I started, I wasn't thinking about backup because I'm like, my mind was like, all right, I just gotta on the whatever like was working. I needed to make sure that worked in the first place, So that backups wasn't on my mind when I first started. But I think like I don't know, it was like a progressive thing because I was like, okay, like all right, now I've started thinking about backups here and there. So like the way I started thinking about backup, and I still do, I don't go like overboard with the backups, but it's like if worst case, like okay, if this thing goes out, then what would I do? Like what would be my backup? So like for speakers, for example, it's like okay, I have two speakers. If one goes out, I still have one. So it's like all right, I'm not like bringing an extra set of speakers, to every event, So right
Yeah,
now, so it's like I that's like my backup for the speakers, and then it's like all right, if my controller goes out, then like what's my backup for that? And it's like, all right, I got my laptop. Like my laptop, I'll just DJ like on Serato like by itself. And I'll plug it in with like a 3.5 millimeter. It's like, all right, if my laptop goes down, then I'm like, all right, I got my phone because I'll just plug in like a YouTube mix or something and just like save the party. So,
yeah,
I'm not like I don't always I have a backup laptop now, but it's like when I'm starting out, I have like two. The chances that you have two laptops and stuff is pretty slim. And then what other like I got a mixer, so it's like my Yamaha mixer. So I'm like, all right, if that goes out, then I need to have a cable that I could connect my controller like directly to the speaker, like so like a 3.5 to a XLR cable or something, so I could go directly into the speaker. Um, and then I was like, all right, if my wireless mics goes out, then I got a wired mic. Just have like one wired mic, and then XLR cables. And yeah, I mean, if cables go out, it's like, yeah, you should have more cables, ideally. But that's and then lighting. I don't have backup for lighting because it's like lighting is like to me lowest priority. It's like I spend a lot of time thinking about it now because I have the other stuff. But it's like, all right, if a light goes out, it's like whatever. It's like it's not really gonna change anything. But it's like if the sound goes out, it's like at least I have some built-in backups built in there. So that's like kind of how I think about backups. How about you? What were your like
Hey,
what's your backup journey been?
the- well, so when I first, I obviously like the same as you. When I first started, I did not think about backups at all, and but as I started like progressing in this and spending, putting money into it, then
Yeah,
I was like, okay, well, what would I do if my speakers
yeah,
go down? Like if both of my speakers go
yeah.
down,
Both
or
you're
like
done.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
But
gotta have one extra then.
like you said, so now what I do is I always take my three speakers always.
Yeah,
So I have either the Maui 44 G2s to use, or I use the EVs, CLXs,
yeah.
and I take my Everse 8 to every event.
Oh,
I
you
don't,
take five speakers.
no, I only take whatever. If it's let's say if the event is at a house, I'm taking the EVs and
Yeah.
my Everse.
Oh yeah,
If the
yeah.
event is at a venue and it's
Then the Maui's and the
then
Ebers.
I take them. Then I'll take I take the
Yeah,
Maui's,
so like
and
one
then I take
extra.
my Evers.
Yeah, that's a
So
good
if one of my
idea.
speakers go down, I use my little one,
Yeah,
put it on the I can put it on a pole or on the floor, and then
yeah,
just
yeah,
it's powerful
yeah.
enough
That's
to
ideal. That's
do that.
ideal. If you have
So
three.
that's what I got for speakers. If I have I used to take two laptops. I
Mm.
have my own Mac, and I also have had a no Mac that I used to take with me, but it just got heavy. So I'm like,
Yeah, that's the
I'll just
thing.
take one.
Yeah,
So now, like you said, if something were to happen with that, I'll just use my computer. Like, well, if the computer goes down, then I'll use my phone. I have some. I've recorded like 3 or 4 mixes,
Yeah.
and they're long enough to be able to reset my computer.
Well,
Like
I know
reset.
people that what they'll do is they'll just they'll have this plugged into their mixer and have their mix just playing like about no volume, so that
Just in case. Yeah.
if it goes down, you just turn the volume up and your mix is already playing. You're not like looking for it and like scrolling for it, you know, like out on the spot. So I've done that a couple times where I'm like, all right, like, this is a really high stakes event. Like, let me just have something playing in case. And like, I never had to use it, thankfully, but
Uh-huh.
that was like a cool. I remember someone's video, like they were talking about that, where it's like just have like a
Yeah,
mix, have
that's
your
a good
mix
idea.
playing, have your mix playing in the background, and just have the volume cut, and then like if worst case, you just turn that up like, you know, instantly, and like you got music going like immediately.
So yeah, so like that's something good to do. Actually,
Yeah,
I've never done it. I didn't even think about that.
yeah,
Having just having something running, but because I'm always using my phone to like record and things like that. So
You gotta get a sec, or use one. We use one of your old phones. I always have like an old iPhone sitting around that I don't know what to do with it, so I use that for something.
so now I'm using my old iPhone. I use it as so I have the old iPhone. We use it actually for the 360 booth. So
Oh,
so
yeah,
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 and that one is like Wi-Fi only.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's
so yeah. So besides that, like regarding like music wise, I will also use my phone if I have to have like mixes already
yeah,
set in there. I have like 4 or 5 that are long, like 20 minutes long.
yeah.
Just it's enough time to like troubleshoot your computer like
Troubleshooting,
real quick.
restart it or something in the meantime.
Yeah, and then cable wise, I have a lot of cables. I have like three. I have like 3 of each, and like XLRs. I have like what 4 on each side.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
we have but probably like 200
200 feet. I think that's
yeah.
that's what I try to. I think like my goal was having 200 feet of XLR, and I've had to use it like I don't have to use it like all the time, but there's been a couple times where I've like been close to like having to use all the XLR, because it's like if I mean, I don't recommend it, but like if you need to set your speakers up across from your DJ booth or something, you got to go all the way around the room or something ridiculous with your XLR cables, then it's like,
Yeah.
you know, you have enough. But like I try not to I try not to do that if I unless I only have to do that like once or twice, but I hate doing that.
Uh, yeah, well, yeah, now you can like what's it called? Use the X Vive
Yeah,
or
yeah, bro. I
or
don't know. Or the
one of
Coda.
the ones that you were yeah,
A
one of the ones that
60-foot
you were
range,
talking about.
bro. That's what I was hoping. I was like, hey, maybe this, like, if this is legit, like, that's why I'm looking for it, because um it would really help with the setup and breakdown, you know, not having to run the freaking cable that far. But
Yeah. So,
it
so
needs to be like super reliable, because it's like if it's your main speakers, like there's no way I'm using that for like a main speaker, you know, like it starts cutting out in the middle of a gig.
and talking about that, I know that the Maois 44 G2s, you can link them up
Oh, that's
together.
cool. Yeah, that's cool.
But the only I never tested it, but I want to. So I want to link them and then just connect one speaker to my
Yeah.
mixer
Oh, so it can
and
take
see.
XLR and then send that one to the other one?
That's what I want to test if that's
Oh,
possible
yeah. That would be
because
cool.
they have it has left and right
Hmm.
and it has the through. So when I use the X Vive to connect from the Maui's to my Evers and it works fine. But
Yeah.
I wanna try connecting my the mixer directly to one of the
One
Maui's,
of them, yeah.
and from there link it without using a cable to the other one. I don't know if that will work. I haven't tried it. If anyone in there knows how or have tried it, let us know or
Or if
let me
anyone
know. I'll
watching
be
after the
excited.
fact.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I,
that'd be
I have.
cool. That'd be cool,
y-
dude. And I think we're gonna see wireless, because like, you know, the new speaker that came out, whatever, Optimus Prime, Optimus Prime or something, the new speaker, the 8 inch
Uh,
that Alpha Theta made just now.
oh,
But they what?
that looks ugly, man. That's
Yeah,
an
no, the
ugly ass
speaker
speaker.
looks ugly. Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
but I guess it's waterproof. But the speaker comes with like a wireless transmitter like built into it. That's supposed to be good, but
But it's a water is waterproof
Yeah, that's
or is
what
it
they
water resistant?
they
Yeah,
okay. I
that's
don't
a
know.
huge
The
difference.
reviewers,
It's a
the
huge
reviewers are
difference.
saying waterproof. I'm not. I don't know. Like it sounds. That's why it looks crazy too, because it's like a. It looks like a
Have you
submarine.
have you seen one of them like throw it in the
No,
pool or
no, no,
something?
no. Nobody's done that yet. But this it's supposed to have a wireless transmitter that you can like link and send the same signal to like multiple of those speakers. Like you have up to 8 of those speakers, and you can send the signal to all of them. I don't know. That's the thing. Like I don't know how reliable and stuff it is because it's not like like wireless is. As I learn more about it, I'm learning about how like unreliable it can be. But apparently,
Yeah,
like
wireless
that's
is.
this is the first speaker I've seen it built into. So I think we might start seeing that more. And like if the technology gets better, like maybe maybe we'll have wireless speakers like here soon in a few years.
You know, another thing that um and I don't know how bad it is in New York, but wireless microphones.
Yeah,
I've been seeing that a lot of people are complaining about, like, in good brands, talking about like Shure,
yeah,
Sennheiser, and they're complaining about losing
yeah. Like dropouts and stuff.
the dropouts. Yeah, and
Yeah,
everybody was saying because of the 5G, whatever the
yeah.
companies are doing now.
That's
I
why
use
I'm like I've done dude, I've commented on your old Phoenix videos like years for like the past over like a year ago,
yeah.
and I still
I've
I look at
never
those. That's
I've
crazy, dude.
never had a problem.
So
Yeah,
what I've learned, so the thing is the Phoenix, those Phoenix has a new mic. You've seen like Phoenix 2U or Phoenix 1U and
the to you,
2U.
yeah.
Those have the true diversity. So they have two antennas, and then what it
Mhm.
does is it takes the best signal from whichever antenna at like it does it like instantly, like it's always computing which one's getting the best signal. So it's bouncing between the two antennas, so you don't get dropouts. Like that's the theory. And so like that's like true diversity. And then but then the Phoenix 71 is just it's one antenna per each receiver. So it's like
Yes.
theoretically it's like it could have dropouts because like if the signal gets screwed up. But it's just like it's one is solid and one is supposed to be more solid. But it's like at the end of the day, what matters is what channel you're on. So it's like if you haven't auto scanned and you're just like just using any channel, the same channel everywhere, it's like then you're gonna have a much higher chance of a dropout. So it's like I
I've
think it just
never out of
depends.
scan. I've never
Really,
out of scan. Never.
bro, that's
I When
crazy.
I go over there, we put everything together, and then we test the mics, and it
It
always
always
worked.
works, dude.
I've never changed
Yeah.
the channel.
I think I
I
think
never
it's
had
I
to.
think it's where you live. Like depending, I don't know, like each region what it's like, but it's like in some places the wavelengths are more like used by other like signals and stuff. So it's like depends where you live. So maybe like over there, but that's where I hear the people getting into the most trouble. But I've heard the same thing. Like everyone, I ask you, I ask legit. I ask literally everyone that has a 71. Like you'll see me in the comments. I'd be like, "Yo, how's the PZU 71? How do you like it?" And like everybody says the same thing. They say it's great. Like even like more than like what I see reviews on the PTU 2U. So yeah, I don't know, man. There's something in there. Maybe they've got some like secret sauce in those mics that like
Yeah, I don't know. So I saw the U2.
yeah.
I'm just not a fan of square heads.
Yeah,
You
yeah. They don't look
know,
good.
I don't
Yeah.
like those. I don't
I
like those.
agree. And you know what the
The
problem with those is so you're I think the 71 the units like the bottom part is way longer. So like when people hold it,
Yes.
when you hold it, it's like the trans this looks it's kind of sus right now, but the antenna is at the bottom.
Yeah.
That is at the bottom. So with what's happening with the 2U is people are covering up the bottom sometimes when they're holding it because
Yeah,
the
and then that's how you
shorter.
lose. That's how you
Yeah.
lose
And so people
the
are losing signal that way. So I don't know,
signal. Yes.
like I don't know why they changed that up, but that's one of the problems that I haven't bought. I might buy them because this was my big like research thing. Like I kept watching YouTube videos on it, but that's what
Yeah.
I've seen other problems that people because it's shorter, so people hold that bottom part, and then the signal, regardless of having diversity or whatever, like the signal doesn't go through.
And the way I came up with the Phoenix PTU, I was looking for like cheap mics, right? But
Yeah,
I didn't want to go way too cheap either.
yeah, yeah.
So I was like,
Dude,
you know what?
that's why,
I
bro.
went to Amazon.
for the best, I would say the best like entry level mic, like it's probably that one, or then the one that I have. They're like similar price, you know, but it's like 150. You get two mics, and they're rock solid. You know, like you can't beat that. My first one, like I had to get rid of them because I bought some mic that was like it didn't have the auto scan feature. It was like $100. It was $100, so it's still like it wasn't like that much cheaper. You know, it's like $100 versus 150. But I didn't know about like auto scan and why that's important and stuff. So those, I took them to an event, and this dad was giving a speech, and the thing started cutting out. I was like, oh shit! Like I like ran over there. I was like, oh, the battery's going out. I was like, it's obviously not the battery, but I gave him and it thankfully got through it. But that's why I was like, at least if it can auto, obviously yours, you don't sound like you auto scan, but it sounds like, you know, the auto scan is like the best feature to have, you know.
I mean, thank God I never had to.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I mean, obviously, if something happens with my microphones, then yeah, I do also have my Shure 58M.
Yeah,
M58. Yeah, so I have two of those. And I can just literally like plug it in real quick, and with the X5, I can make it wireless.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, it's good. It's good, like in a pinch. Like I wouldn't rely on it, but it's like, yeah, like you need it, or something. Like you're at a house party or something, you didn't bring your wireless mic. It's like, hey, just put the X5 in there, and then you know the person can use it wirelessly.
That's another test that I did. So I did a house party, and I literally I went with the booth I built and my Everse, and I went with the X5.
Oh, nice.
I didn't use cables. I just the whole night.
Oh, wow.
It lasted me the whole night.
That's
so
good.
Yeah, that was.
I have to try out the X5.
It's not. It's pricey, but it's
yeah.
Nice.
No, I mean, but the other alternative is using like the Sennheiser, like the lapel body pack, and then you that's like the most I found is the best, like most stable way to do it. But that like that one costs like $600, and I'm like, I'm not paying $600 just to do a wireless like thing. So the X5 is like $200, so it's more affordable than that at least.
Oh yeah, definitely the X5. And trust me, I don't regret buying it. And if I could, I can, but I don't really want to right now. But I will get another one, and I wouldn't mind, because it's.
I think they're good. Yeah, they're good for like, you know, like what you use it as a monitor, like cocktail hour. I feel like that's what I had in mind, because it's like you could mix from your console, and then it could play the same music that's playing in the hall. You could play like outside, you know, where the cocktail hour is or something. That'd be pretty cool. But that's what I was thinking of using it for. And then like things where it's not like the main speaker is at like a big event, like a wedding or something. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to trust it for that. That'd be too scary. But like failing.
Yeah. So I did an event with the X5. I tried to do what you were saying. I connected it to my controller, but I was getting a bad connection. But I was going through doors.
Wow.
It was a barn, and I had to go through like 2 doors, and then we got to the speaker. So it was cutting. It was cutting a lot.
Yeah, then it would definitely.
And that was the first time I was using it. So at that time, I just I kind of freaked out. I was like, damn, it's messing up. So I just ran a cable, one of my 50 foot long cable. I run it, connect it, and play it from there. But like now, what I do is I have Amazon or Apple Music. I have the playlist set in here, and then I just Bluetooth with my Everse, and that's how I do it.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like the reception, then I have a Pee-wee or whoever comes with us, because sometimes I do, like when I have Dancing on the Clouds, or we have like a big event, I do have somebody else come with us to just help us. So
like a third person.
The third person, and because Christian is way too busy and like focused on what he's saying,
right,
and you know, like and following the timeline, and then I'm so focused on the music, making sure that everything, the lights are working, and all that, that it's much easier for me to just tell one of my friends, like, yo, can you do this? Or bring me the little speaker because I
Yeah,
need it as a booth monitor, or things like that.
yeah.
But
I saw one when you had there's someone else. What was his name? Like Gordito or something like
El
that.
Gordo. Yeah. I usually take him or whoever wants to go. I usually just go to one of my friends are like, yo, I have a gig. Who wants to go?
Yeah, that's
And
good.
then they tell me, and like, yo, I'm down. I'm like, okay, cool.
That's good
So
to have
let's
like
go.
a network like that you could get last minute
Yeah,
and people
yeah.
that you trust.
I've been, I'm lucky that I do have a lot of like people that I can reach
Yeah.
and be like, hey, let's go. Majority of them don't really do anything anyways on the weekends. So,
You're like, yo,
so
I know you're not doing anything.
yeah, they're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I got something to do. No, bro, like,
Like,
come with
bro,
me.
free food. You could maybe have a couple drinks. I'll pay
Yeah.
you. And a couple.
So
All right, I'm coming then.
that's another thing. Do you or when you do your events, do you drink? Do you take drinks or
No, I mean,
no?
like people will offer me like a lot. Like my thing is just I'm like all right, I'm working. So I'm not gonna drink. And then sometimes it's similar with requests. Like sometimes some people will be like, oh, like you have to drink with us. Like someone who they really like me, or like I've was talking to them before. Like, oh, you come on, take a drink. Then I'll take the drink and I'll like take a sip, and then I'll just like dump the rest or something like that. But I won't like I don't like drink at my events because I'm like, all right, I want to stay professional, and at the end of the day, I'm getting paid to be here, so I'm gonna treat it like a job. So I know people have different opinions on that, but that's mine. How about you?
Yeah, I don't smoke. I don't drink. No, nothing.
Like at all?
Like at all. At all.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's not a problem for me.
yeah,
I do like, especially on house parties, I do get like all the people like, oh, come
yeah, yeah,
drink,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like, no,
exactly.
thank you. I
Yeah.
don't I don't
I'll
drink,
I'll
but
do it like just like like all right, yeah, man, cheers, glad you're having a good time, and I'll like do it, and then just like put it away, or just like keep it down there. But it's like, yeah, I don't want to like I've DJ like some of my DJ friends, or like some of the guys that I do these other events with. Like I've seen them get like drunk like at like while they were the DJ, and it's like they're
yeah,
still like DJing, and it's like, all right, like like they're still doing it, and they're like getting lit. Like I haven't seen anything like bad happen from it, but I'm like, this just seems like this is like asking for trouble. Like something's gonna happen, or a guest is like, you could smell the alcohol. Like a guest is gonna come and smell that you're drunk, and it's like it's just super unprofessional. At the end of the day,
yeah.
so it's like
Yeah, at the
like
end of the day, it's not professional. Period.
yeah, it's just unprofessional, and like yeah, you could put yourself in a bad situation too. It's like you want to, if especially like I know some people are like, oh no, I have to drink to like DJ, and it's like it's a party, so like I have to get into it. But I don't know, I just feel like the energy, like we bring that. You shouldn't be a DJ if you don't have that, like that energy within anyways. So it's like you should bring that energy regardless of whether you need the alcohol or not.
Yeah.
I drink
Like,
I
I
drink I
mean,
drink caffeine though. I'll drink, like I'll always get sodas, and I'll be like, all right, I need a Coke or a Diet Coke or something like that. So I'll definitely drink the caffeine, but no
the
alcohol.
word that I do is Diet Red Bull,
Diet,
sugar
yeah,
free Red Bull. That's
yeah.
it.
No, energy drinks. That's how energy drinks get me hyped up, and I feel like, yeah, all right, now like
Yeah.
like it's kind of like taking pre-workout before a workout.
And taking C4, huh?
Yeah, yeah, but like alcohol just is different, and then like even like if it doesn't have the effect on you, it's still if somebody's seeing that in the crowd, and your brand and your professionalism, I feel like can be like called into question too. So that's also why I don't do it. Like unless it's like I said, like someone's like, oh come on man, I'll be like, all right, like like, all right, now go
Yeah.
away. The same way. Like if someone's really insistent with the request, and I'll be like, all right, like like I'll mix it in here, and then leave me alone, kind of a thing.
Yeah, you just I guess like you just gotta be careful where you do it,
Yeah.
how much you do it,
Oh yeah, for
because
sure. You got yeah.
it can. I mean, I can't talk for experience because I don't drink, so I've never
Yeah.
had that problem. But I've seen DJs that gotten really drunk,
Yeah.
and like and then once they get really drunk, they start playing their music, whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they forget that you're getting paid for this, and they
Exactly.
start doing their own thing, and like it's no longer you, and your company is out there, your name is
Exactly.
out there, and then it's not
That's
worth
the
it.
thing, dude. DJing, I feel like DJing is the only job where we would even be having this discussion. Like, oh, is it okay or not to drink on the job? You know, so that's saying something. I mean, that's another you could say a good positive about DJing is like, yeah, it could be somebody could come on here and debate that, like, hey, yeah, like, oh yeah, like there's no problem with it, and this is why, you know. So this just the fact that DJ is a job that you could have this conversation, like, oh, whether or not it's okay to drink on a job. I think it says a lot about being lucky to be in this like kind of a job in the first place.
Oh wow, look, it's been an hour already.
Oh
That's
man, it's
crazy.
the first episode.
Yeah, and it was fun.
Bro, it was
It was
fun,
fun.
man. With all the comments that we got, it was great. So much interaction. Here we go. Oh, the comments. Oh yeah, here we go. Here, let me post mine.
Yeah,
All
but
right. Awesome, man. That was fun, dude.
no, yeah, it was definitely fun. Again, we're just gonna we'll keep going and doing this every week as much as possible.
Hell yeah.
It's just fun. It's a fun thing to do and like to interact with people out there. And again, if you're watching this and you wanna get in the sauce with us, let us know and we can accommodate and get you in here. So just let us know. This
Yep.
is
Every
for
Thursday.
everyone. Yeah. So this is
Episode
for
1.
everyone. And this was episode 1. So
Episode 1 of many to come.
yes, sir.
All
Stay
right,
like that.
man.
So all right, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Shay, for your time.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see you next week.
See you guys
Peace.
next week, Thursday, 8 p.m.
You got it.